Welcome back to the show. And now we're getting into our album reviews and just start off with the first one with The Game and Big Hits, Paisley Dreams. In this new surprise album to start the year off, both rappers showcase, their West Coast roots and craft beats that exude LA vibes and are focused on the dark history of LA as well. And this was a very, with Hit Boy involved in it. I think they said they got it done like in one night, only 9 songs or something. And it was interesting
Right.
because The Game obviously is a very consistent type of
hmm
rapper. You know what you're going to get from him, a lot of bars. I thought this was
hmm
a good project. This was they were very focused on it. They knew
Yeah.
what they were going to try to do in totality of it. What were kind of your initial takeaways from this project?
Great production, obviously, is Hit Boy. So we already knew what we're going to
Yeah,
get with that. Like, he can collab with anybody and just produce something
it's
so
gonna sound
crazy.
incredible.
And with the game, and I know he goes back and forth with a lot of people. I think the game is a great lyricist, and he has so many bars. And I think he has that unique sound with his voice and to be able to bring things out. And I'm high on the game because he's I think he was on one of the craziest diss tracks ever. I think it was him and Tyga, and I forgot who they were beefing with, but he had a verse on there was like crazy bars. And then I think he went back and forth with I can't remember outside of 50 Cent and other these guys. But I think he's a staple in the rap game. He doesn't get the credit that he deserves.
He
But
does.
this album was fire.
Yeah.
Um Definitely got saved in the
Oh yeah.
catalog. I think the game is underrated in so many aspects. And the hooks were better than I thought they were gonna be, not gonna lie. Um but no, I really like this. I like Dom Kennedy. He's underrated too. One another
He
underrated
is.
rapper. And then who else was on here? T Flea. I didn't know who he was, but I thought they jail well. Like 9 songs, very concise, more
Yeah.
so like a borderline EP on
That's
the
what I was about to
brinks
say. It
of
felt like
an
a borderline
album.
EP. Yeah.
Yeah. But I love the way he did 9 songs. You don't got his point across, did what he had to do, 9 songs. Didn't have to have 13, 14, 22 songs on here so it can get redundant, precise number, nice beats. One night, 9 songs. I thought it was pretty good.
And that's really the thing because a lot of times with albums like this, we mentioned it with 2 Chains and Wayne and Meek Mill, Rick Ross. Sometimes you can like extend the album too long. Do you feel as though kind of all parties involved kind of knew like, hey, this is just one of those nights where we can get something done really quickly, but we don't have to make this like an expansive type of project.
I'm sure they had more songs.
Yeah.
Cause
Oh,
when
definitely.
you're in the studio, they probably was in there all night, all day. When you're in the studio
Yeah.
cooking up songs you stockpile like, okay, this is I'm just glad they came to I'm pretty sure it was like at least 15, 16 songs that they did to
Yeah.
kind of like minimize and concisize it. And that's not a word, but I just made it a word.
It's creative.
But no, I like the way they did it. I'm pretty sure it was way more songs than 9, but
Yeah.
they made the conscious decision to just put 9 songs in there, which is a literally an odd number. I
That
never
is
like
in
seen
a
like
very
nine
because
songs.
remember like there was a time back in the day where 9 song albums were really popular, but we don't really see
Yeah.
that anymore.
No,
Yeah,
people just have like 7 or 8, or if you want to do it, just do 10 songs to
yeah,
make it a
at least double
full. But
digits.
they did 9 songs. I was like, well, I don't need to.
Here you go. Happy New
We
Year.
don't need to. I don't need to tell them. But nah, very very dope that they
I like
just
this.
went with 9 songs. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Hand clap.
People keep this trend up for the rest of the year. Hopefully, we know they won't. Though.
No, they want 22 songs. Streaming purposes.
And now get into our next review with Westside Gunn, Conway the Machine, The Alchemist, Hall and Nash, two. In this album, which was finally put on streaming services recently, there was great chemistry displayed. The Alchemist understanding of the kind of beats that work for Conway and Westside Gunn, which is perfect as usual. And I think Westside and Conway, obviously, they're both very familiar with each other, and it kind of shows that I don't know which one you thought had like the more impressive lyrical performance. I think Conway is just always really consistent. West Side, he kind of tries to hit you more with the punchlines. But I
hmm
thought this was a dope project. And whenever we're going to be biased towards the Alchemist, whenever he's done it,
Yeah.
I'm always going to be like interested to see what type of production he picks, and it's always on point. To you, kind of, how did you feel about this project overall?
9 songs, Wellington.
Again,
Yeah. Well, you picked a good batch of projects for 9 songs. But no, yeah, obviously you made a great point. What side's gonna be more boom boom boom. Conway's gonna give you a whole story,
yeah,
whole the lyricist vibes. And I think it's a good contrast.
Yeah.
because with some artists can do both within 16 bars or whatever how long the verse is, but when you have two artists who specifically do this thing and
Gotta
they
go
can come
for it.
together on a crazy Alchemist beat, bro. This is hip hop, man. I love, 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 love this type of music
Yeah.
because it brings you back to those times and how they rapped, how they told
Hmm.
stories, how they did these
Time
things,
capsule.
and these two guys, I feel like still underrated, especially Westside Gunn, bro.
Yeah.
He is such a good rapper and so versatile where he can flip the switch. Like he does this style and he can get really crazy, like rap.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's talked about enough. I don't think Conway is talked about enough. Obviously, Alchemist is a well-known name and
Why do you think they
producer
aren't?
and
Why do you think they are? I guess
the
it's
type
hip
of
hop.
style.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
hip hop.
hip hop. It's not gonna be like played on radio stations. It's not gonna be like catchy. It's gonna be gritty. The hooks are gonna be gritty. It's not gonna be pop, 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 rappy rap. It's gonna be real raw hip hop. And a lot of people
Heard a podcaster say this isn't the type of music you play around your girlfriend.
no, you don't. This is the time you play with the homies on your own spare time or whatever the case may be. You don't play this unless
Boom, boom, boom.
nah, never. What is this? Can
What
you
is
change
this? Oh my
it?
goodness.
Oh my
Change
gosh.
it.
Turn on ice notes.
I spelled.
But nah, bro, that's exactly why they're not talked about as much. But I love that though,
Yeah.
because you have authentic fans
Mhm.
who are capable of a more truer ear, a more purest ear of hip hop, and they can listen
Definitely.
to this for countless hours instead of having to listen to a hook that's catchy and the bars are terrible or the beat is amazing and this is like so many elements that make a song good. And I think this is what hip hop should go back to, but it's not.
Yes.
It's the lay of the lands.
They have the fundamentals. They have all the fundamentals, and they
Yeah.
finish it every time. And now getting to our next review with John Batiste, Old Music Radio. In this album, he tries to appeal to everyone. He's had a jazz background in the past and the wide ranging possibilities of global music. He's an artist who's tried to blend, jazz, soul, funk, R&B, and hip hop. And this was interesting because it's I heard about this album and people said like there was an array of sounds in it, and I feel as though he knows where he wants to go to, but I personally kind of feel like it was like an album that was all over the place.
Yes.
It have some highlights, but I
Sorry.
I kind of wish I would. I think he has a pocket he can go to. Like maybe if it's more of like that jazz type of Masego sound would sound better. But
Hmm.
this album was like an extended playlist that he kind of wasn't sure of where he wanted to go to. He just wanted to put a bunch of records on with a bunch of features. To you overall, how did you feel about the project?
Bro, that's a perfect analysis. Like literally a playlist. It reminds me of Drake's one,
Oh, more
More
life.
Life.
Yeah,
It was
that was actually good
so
music.
it was good music, but it
Yeah,
was like so
everywhere.
different many. Yeah, you had drill, you had reggae,
Dance
dance
hall.
hall, you had really like it was so many
Like
things.
whoa.
Yeah, but you liked it so much because
Yeah,
it
you liked
flowed
it.
well. I don't think this flowed well.
This one didn't flow
It
well.
was too chaotic. I mean, it had some good songs on here, but it was too chaotic for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you have so many different artists on here. Like,
Kenny
what's
G,
going on,
Kenny
bro?
G, Lil Wayne.
Why is
Like,
Kenny G
why
on
is
on
Kenny
this
G on this
album?
album? I was like, hold up, man.
Bro, I don't even know who Rita Paez is,
I
bro.
don't know. Who
Hello, Billy Bob. That's the first song on the album. Hello, Billy Bob. Yeah, this was chaotic. This had to be on Acid Rain or something, bro. Like it's too chaotic. It doesn't
It
flow.
doesn't flow.
It doesn't
Like when an
flow at
artist
all.
has like they're popular and they have like a lot of connections. When you have like an album that you're trying to make an extended playlist type of feel, what would you recommend? Like what do you want to see from artists when they can do that, and what direction they should take it in?
It's not about quantity, and everybody knows it's not about quantity. It's about quality. Just
Yeah.
because you have these so many connections, utilize them well. Like Lil Wayne should never been on here. Um, JID and New Jeans, they should never been on
That
here.
was
Great
weird.
song, by the way,
Yeah, it was a good
but
song.
should never been on here. You have to, as an artist, be smart. Obviously, you're doing this for yourself because as an artist, you want to put out music that you like. Maybe you did like this, but you don't have to show, hey, look, I got all these features that I could put on here, and I'm good. Like, no, that could have been a separate EP. That could have been
Oh
something
yeah, it
separate,
should have been
another
like maybe this could have
project.
been 4 or 5 EPs.
No, no, yeah, yeah, bro.
Like
It's
literally,
22 songs. Could
it
have
could have like
definitely been a 4 or 5 EP, but I just think it was too chaotic, bro. You have to be smart as an artist of what goes on what. If it's gonna be a playlist, do like Drake. Say it's a playlist. This is not
yeah.
an album. This is not a mixtape. This is a playlist.
He was
People
direct with
were
it.
yeah, it would have been received it better. Then I'm like, okay, I'm not expectations of this being an album and it doesn't flow. It doesn't make sense. This is a playlist. Say it's a playlist.
Yeah,
Yeah, be upfront of what you're trying to convey to the audience.
definitely. And I'll get into our next review with Genevieve's Division. In her debut album for 2021, it's a really consistent display with the sign of self assurance that keeps her from looking into the rear view mirror at missteps. It's got 90s R&B mixed with late 2010s all over, and to me it was a really great mix because for a debut album, I saw I can see the potential in it, and I thoroughly enjoy some debut albums. I'm like, okay, there's potential, but I didn't enjoy it as much. This one I really did enjoy from start to finish. How did you kind of feel about this album overall, and how would you kind of grade it, as a debut project?
I liked it. Um, there are a bunch of good songs in here.
It's a
Not,
lot.
not a bunch. It was
It
Baby
was to me, it
Powder.
was quality songs for a debut album.
Quality
Yeah,
songs made sense, flow well.
yeah,
I think she has a ceiling that she can get to because for some artists, the either AR managers or whatever or raise the ceiling to where the artist can never get to.
yeah.
But I think
True.
she has the capacity to be versatile. I want to see a more um, conceptual album or EP where she really shows the writing and
Yeah,
what like just try to
bring all
get
that
to the
together.
yeah, but I think this was pretty good. Like I like Crybaby, I like Resume, Baby Powder, Nowhere. There was some good songs in here. I liked her voice too. It was pretty dope. And I couldn't figure out who she sounded like, which is a good thing. Because we
That's
always
that's
know, yeah,
key. That's key.
we
I
love
can't
people
can't
who have
compare
their
you.
own sound. Yeah. They have your own sound. You don't sound like anybody else. Oh, she's with Interscope. Well, Joy Face, she's probably Interscope probably has a distributing deal or something like that. But nah, you put me on somebody new again. Wellington, your flowers, bro. You get Savon's corner. Flowers go to Wellington. Wellington.
Flowers.
Wellington always finds artists out of nowhere. It doesn't matter where somebody recommends it, but Wellington always finds this dopest artist and put me on new music.
I sent it
I
to him
don't
a lot
believe.
later. I sent it to him a lot like the day before, but I was like, I think he would like
Yeah.
this one. So
Nah, this was dope, bro. This was really dope. I never heard of her before. Obviously, it's a 2021 project, but and I think she just dropped a
dropped the EP, I think, in the
single.
20. Oh,
She dropped a no, that was 2022. She hasn't dropped in a while. Christmas special, November 4th. I wonder if she's still doing music. That's interesting. Hmm. I wonder why she stopped doing
it's
music
been a
or she's
minute,
on a
but
hiatus.
I would like to hear more music from her, though. I would
Yeah,
definitely like to hear more
yeah.
music from her.
I was wondering what they're doing with her. Well, that sounded weird. I wonder what they're trying to.
Get done. I don't.
Yeah.
Wait, what are we talking?
As an
Just over
artist,
a blank. Yeah,
they'll take an artist off and try to um kind of cultivate them a little bit, switch the sound or whatever the case may be, trying to get them back and then put out an album or something to get them back in the light. Like they do SZA. SZA dropped that one album and they kept her on strengths until she dropped
yeah,
so maybe that's what they're doing with her.
definitely. My prediction for 2024, I think Cecily is going to drop in the springtime. I think Cecily's going to
Who?
come back. Cecily. I think Cecily is going to come for a spring release. Cecily,
Cecily. What?
the
Why does that sound so
Without
familiar?
You, the Without You single. Yeah,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
I
yeah.
think like middle. Yeah,
Cleo got
and
to drop again.
Cleo too.
Cleo got to I listened
She's on a
to
roll.
Wishcom. Yeah, she's amazing. Another person you put me on. Never knew who Cleo Soul was.
I
She
remember the
has some good
first time,
music.
yeah, the first time we reviewed her, man. Like that Mother
Yeah.
album was so special, and then it dropped two last year.
Yes.
What's her
Dixon
ceiling?
is a
What's Cleo Soul ceiling to you?
she doesn't have one.
She doesn't
You
have
know
one. Yeah.
why? She's that good. and she's so versatile. And I know we throw this word around a lot, but to be an artist, you have to. That
Got to
Mother
be.
album and for the two other projects she did, totally different in my eyes. And
Yeah.
she progressed in every way to be able to put that type of music out and still be great, and then have bangers that you can dance to.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so she
It's
can make you
unlimited.
dance. She can make you feel any type of feeling, and I think that's in the R&B artist or whatever you want to put her categorize her in. I think with your pen, you have to make people feel. She makes you feel all those. Because I forgot what song I listened to the other day. I was in my office just jigging like this the whole time, doing paperwork, jigging. Um, but Dixon is another person you put me on. He just dropped a single called Friends. Um, what's the album? What's the album called? We reviewed it. It's double zero four Daisy.
Yep.
This one, yeah, you put
Yes.
me on him. I listened to this so much. I'm gonna make you
So
dance. Yeah, yeah.
what
You
a
put me on
song,
him.
man.
He's fire. He's fire, bro.
Definitely. Now getting to our last review with JID's 30 Freestyle. In this new track, which had a booming beat, courtesy of Conductor Williams,
Mhm.
Christo, and Saint Bruno, JID showed a high level of skill and lyricism. He just commands the beat entirely. And talking about people who I expect a big year from, I definitely expect a big year from JID. I think he's got a lot of music he can put out. Maybe an EP, maybe I know he's going to do a solo album, but there's also been talks of him working with Metro Boomin for a collab album. This song, man, he really was in control of it from the jump. Obviously, whenever you have the Conductor Williams tag, it's going to be a great quality in terms of just production and lyricism combined. To you overall, how did you kind of feel about this track?
Again, I'm gonna throw this word out there. Versatile. Jid can find so many ways to find different melodies, different concepts, and he's just so talented. The man is super talented, and I think he's one of the like top five younger rappers because he has the lyricism, he has the bars, yeah, he can make incredible hooks. It's so many things. It goes into being one of those ones. He can
Top
make good
ones.
hooks, yeah, make good hooks, lyrical, bar heavy, great at features,
Yeah,
because I think as an artist you have to be good at features. Obviously you're going to be good on your own music because you know the direction. Can you fit the direction of the artist whose
switch it up.
song you're on? Yeah, switch it up and be able to get on, and he does that very well. And I think a lot of he's he's one of those ones. He's one of those young goats for sure, because it's not much you can say about GID that he cannot do and he has not done already. Being with like three rap groups, being a solo artist because he was Spill Village, he's
Yeah,
with Dreamville, he's his own artist as well. I think he's with somebody else. I think he does stuff with shoot dude with Pivot Gang. Saba. He does stuff with
Saba,
Saba all the
yes,
time. Yeah,
yeah,
he does stuff with Saba all the time, which is underrated. I think he's one of those ones too.
Saba's good.
Because Saba can flow. Saba can find some different ways. Him and Smino. Smino's another one I think is a young goat that he doesn't get a lot of credit. He's underrated
I
because of
still
his
listen to
his
Smino's last
style.
album. Still listen to Smino's last album
Smino,
as well.
Smino's a
Smino's
dope
nice.
man, and how he can just like he just finds different ways to bring good music out, and I think
Yeah,
that's really hard, especially now because a lot of people not doing that. A lot of people not being consistent in the music. I
it's
don't
few
think
and far
he's at that
between.
point. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I don't think he's at that point, or are these guys at the point where they have to switch it up yet? Because they're still in their adolescence of their career. Once they get to the level of like, Drake and J. Cole, all these Kendrick, all these other guys, then we'll want to say, hey, try something different a little bit, but don't get too far away from what you do. They're not that level yet. We just want them to be consistent and drop in good music and yeah, doing just that.
Absolutely. Do you think how many albums do you think JD's gonna do? Like maybe one album EP before, or how do you kind of think he's gonna play it out this year in terms of what he's gonna release?
Normally he doesn't really drop. Well, actually, I don't think he really drops that many
He doesn't really drop that many
EPs.
EPs. Yeah, I
It's
think it would be
always
just an album.
albums.
Yeah, I feel it would just be the album. 'Cause I know sometimes artists will say that in the song, like might drop a project before the album, but I think he's just gonna be albums.
I think it's gonna be an album too,
Yeah,
because I mean, obviously mixtapes are not as popular as it used to be. So definitely an album. Obviously, you got to meet the requirements of your label and drop some music. I'm still waiting to see if Scissors are going to drop. Knew she was going to drop at the end of the year.
That wasn't gonna
Yeah, I knew that
happen.
wasn't going to
she
happen.
was she was teasing it just to build the hype up again,
Yeah,
which I'm shocked she's coming back this quick. So
yeah,
whatever it's
you
gonna be, I don't
Edie's. Yeah, I hope it's.
mind.
She has a lot of expectations now.
Yeah, she
2 for 2.
does. Yeah, it's just 2 for 2.
Remember we talked about a lot of people can't like we talked about Bryson Tiller, how he had a phenomenal first album and came back with the second album was dog doo doo. She was able to do back to back good albums with like 5 years apart, 6 years
Mm-hmm.
apart,
5 years
and
apart.
then you dropping something right after that, probably like a year later. Then it has to be good. I would keep the same formula that they're doing.
Just keep doing
Wait a
what you're
couple, yeah,
doing.
it's
Because
working. Yeah.
SOS is gonna have a long lifeline, so it's people are gonna run that back a lot. Well, that
Hmm.
wraps it up for tonight. I'm your host, Wendell Burns. I'm my counterpart, Savon Morris. This has been Full Scope. See you later.